So up guys, today's video is about Robin and why I think this character is kind of just destined to be trash in like any Smash game unless his kit is completely revamped, because he was really bad in Smash 4 and ultimately, he might be a mid-tier, which really doesn't say much when every character is basically a mid-tier except Ganondorf. Why is this character so bad? There's some obvious ones. Game's been out for almost 6 years, right? He's slow is the big thing. He uses resources. When his resources run out, he loses access to that move. And I want to emphasize real quick, he gets an item when he does. Like, he uses that, he gets the book. And something about him in particular with his items is he can't reuse it the same way most item characters can. You ever want a chance to fight against one of the best Smash players in the world just to see what it's like while chilling with him, having a great time? Well, guess what? If you check out the Metafy link in the description below, you can get exactly that with people like me, Leo, Light Tweak. You can literally fight against any of the best people in the world, just a click away. When you think of characters like Diddy Kong, or Peach, or Grenade, Snake, basically the same character as Grenade, who are really good with their items, the big thing is they have they have some way to use it, right? Like Diddy is really fast, so he's able to toss the banana, pick it up, and do a lot of crazy stuff with the pressure off of it. Peach is fast enough to toss turnip and pressure people as well, but she also has float, so she's able to do all these turnip, Z-drop, float cancel, aerial, Z-drop, float cancel stuff, and get these crazy combos going. And then Snake can have 2 grenades out at once, and the fact that just grenades themselves have the same properties. And then compare to Robin, and it's what can you really do with Book? He's too slow to really follow up on it. He can combo off Book, right? He does something I'm sure he do this, and that's a combo the right position, right? He can probably Z-drop it and do something. But he's not going to get, a lot off of that. He's not getting these insane combos as far as I know. He can't, follow up with a Book toss into insane pressure because he's super slow and his frame data is not great. Even just as a projectile, Book isn't that great, right? Neither is Levin Sword. Granted, that's more a side piece for the character. But the point is, he doesn't get an adequate reward for burning through his resource. Now, something else, and this is an obvious one, right? You start the game without Levin Sword. So you have, 10 seconds of no Levin Sword. Because in Ultimate, this game is kind of like Advantage State Simulator nowadays, where someone was neutral, and they're going to keep someone with disadvantage for a while, and then a lot of times you don't reset to neutral that cleanly. A lot of times it would be some sort of reversal, and the other person is in advantage state. The problem is, you have this, it's hard to reversal people with just these small sword hitboxes without green fame data, right? It's hard to win neutral in the first place when you don't have good A buttons to start the game with. So the game almost starts against him from the get-go. And he's a character that I think when he has his full kit available, he has sword, he has fire, thunder, he's a pretty solid character. The problem is they all have very important niches to his overall gameplay. You're missing any of these except this, I feel like, and your game plan is just a lot worse. You don't have sword, you lack this good mid-range spacing tool, you lack scary jug. You just actively scare people. I don't care if you hit me with fire that much if you don't have Levin Sword, right? I don't care about getting hit by random iron sword aerials or whatever. This does a lot for him, and just not having this, you don't have access to Robin's oh, if I hit you with this, you might die move. So you can't run out of that. You don't have access to this, you lack long range pokes, because Side B is a little bit too slow as long range poke, so you need this. Right? And then of course you run up B somehow, you can't recover, although I think you have a little bounce without it. And honestly, I think if you're off stage enough to have to use through all your up B charges, you're probably dead anyway, to be honest. Plus his recovery is super bad, so doesn't matter that much. But he gets a little hop without it. It's whoop, doesn't go far. And I actually want to talk about this with Neutral B in particular, because there's another issue with Neutral B, right? So I charged it. Now I have access to this. That's a good projectile, sure. And I think this is a good projectile. These are both great poke tools. Just deal with this projectile button. But the moment it's this, I now have this projectile, which is cool. If you block it, it's very scary. It does a lot of damage. It has setups. But now I don't have this mid-range poking, longer range poking tool, right? Side B is a little too slow. Sword arrows aren't going that far. And then this around here is slow enough to be at least jumped over, if not punished. There's not that much lag. So just by charging up his neutral B, he loses kind of a core part of his neutral. And if you have Thoron, same thing. You low-key don't want Thoron, unless you're going to burn it pretty quickly, because now, sure, it's a full screen, oh, it hits you, you die, but that's kind of slow, right? You would think it's faster than it is, but look at that. And yeah, there's subs with it, but that's the idea. I think you have to use both those in advantage states. So you have to find a way to win neutral without like this good tool, and then get this, because you don't really have time to charge it in advantage state. Like maybe you can do like this and then play neutral and then like charge it in advantage state. Like, oops, because that's not too long. But yeah, it's like a lot of workarounds where like the charge move is generally really good for characters, but for him it's more of a trade-off. It's not just a, oh, this is a good move, period. Also, I'm looking at right now, Thoron is 23 frame startup, by the way. That is a lot. I also think conceptually this needs to be reworked. Like, this just doesn't do much for his kit. It's cool in theory, right? You know, someone shielding, boom, command grab. Get some health back, especially if you grab the back. You know, it scales with their percent, and like, it can be a lot of healing. But the problem is, he's so slow, he doesn't set that up. Like, if Robin's jumping at me from here, I'm not shielding, I'm probably just backing away. Maybe, or like jumping back, especially. Like, Robin's trouble chasing jump backs in this position because he's super slow, and like kind of floating in the air. You can also mash out of the down B to make him not do that much damage. And yeah, like he doesn't, as a result of his speed and floatiness, he doesn't reinforce that command grab the way a character like Wario does. Where it's, you do like, you know, his neutral B in the air and he's super fast, so you have to respect, oh, the aerial that is going to chase you jumping back or dashing back. But also if you shield, it catches you. And even if you jump back, the Wario bite might catch you because he's so fast in the air. And you might say, oh, like what if you do like this into like that as a shielding, right? And yeah, but you can also do like this into a grab of their shielding. So like you don't really need that. And honestly, if someone's shielding side B, like they're messing up anyway. Like you're just, you don't shield that move, you just jump over it. Diagonally angled, which I guess is the issue, is that like all these spells are very like limited. Like, you know, side B only goes down angle, you can't do anything else with it. You know, neutral B has the charges, but you can't really do much in terms of like once you press B, like angling them or changing timings or whatever. You know, up B you have like this, and that's cool, but it's whatever, who cares, not the biggest deal. So I don't know what they should do to make him better in terms of like his down B, but something that plays with his kit more, like maybe some sort of buff, although I'm tired of characters that have buffs. Like maybe just another type of projectile. Heck, maybe something that like, I don't know, recharges something of his faster when it breaks. And then finally, for a sword character, he just, and this is more fixable, he just lacks good ground buttons. Like, pretty much every sword character that's good, at least, has really strong grounded buttons, right? Like, every character in this game has good aerials. That's just a given, right? But look at it. Look at this. That up tilt does, like, nothing. Forward tilt is, like, you can, like, contest people with, like, kind of like a jab, but who cares? I don't care if this is me. His jab is actually pretty good as, like, just a stop pressing buttons near me button. And I think he can even kill a higher percents. Of course, the wind does some decent damage. Like, his jab's fine. His down tilt, it doesn't do anything. Right? And, like, I know conceptually the idea is he has a lot of good projectiles and good aerials with Levin Sword, so he should have a weakness in terms of his ground buttons. But in practice, like, you need to be able to enforce, like, something on the ground. Otherwise, you have the Palutena problem of you're only really scary when you jump. And even that Palutena, you know, like, she's a great character because she has speed, crazy combos, all this stuff. But that's been the one weakness since day one for her. That's still, like, you know, Palutena players have to deal with that. When you know the matchup, it's hard for them. Of, like, she's on the ground, she's not that scary. She can commit to, like, a dash attack or a dash grab to, like, make you guess. But the risk reward isn't that great for her there. And her tilts are slow and yada yada, right? So, even worse with Robin, like, his tilts are really bad. I remember in Smash 4 they gave him a down throw up air. I think he still has that some percents in this game. I honestly don't see enough Robin to, like, be sure, but I'm pretty sure he does at non-kill percents, which, you know, having, like, those combos is nice. It also makes, once again, down be a little bit, like, less useful. Even if he can do something like that, it's like, that's a lot of damage, right? Oh, what the hell? Oh, it's just a me thing. I think, like, actually controlling, like, Levin Sword aerials can be a little bit annoying, but actually, if I use Smash Stick, that wouldn't be an issue at all. But, yeah. And this, of course, you know, they could always do other things, like make him absurdly fast. Like, they could break him. But when I think about Robin, I think of, like, you know, at his core, he's meant to be, like, a spell sword that's really slow. So how do you make this character good while keeping his identity, right? Like, if you turn him to Roy, he's fucking Roy. He's really good. But then you're just playing Roy. I don't know, that's just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below what you think.